He used to. This time he's getting hammered over new bombshell revelations, literally about bombshell revelations. Not only is he dishonest, he's not too bright.
I smell it. And as we can see, my nose is pretty large. Even though I got allergies, I can still smell well enough. I know what I'm smelling when I'm smelling it.
In a moment that quickly became a hot topic across both sports and entertainment, Stephen A. Smith and Jimmy Kimmel took aim at Floyd Mayweather on live TV, delivering a harsh 1-2 punch that had everyone talking. The clash blended Smith's blunt ESPN commentary with Kimmel's sharp late-night humor, and it all played out as questions swirled around Mayweather's ties to crypto scams, shady real estate deals, and unpaid debts. Smith didn't hold back during a heated ESPN segment, challenging Mayweather's legacy and money choices, while Kimmel poked fun at his public image with spot-on jokes and parody. Together, they didn't just get laughs, they pulled back the curtain on the cracks in Mayweather's polished image.
Was for this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that.
That would be something you could.
We can do that.
You could potentially make. How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel's bold, no-holds-barred questions only added fuel to the fire surrounding Floyd Mayweather. Behind the flashy lifestyle and confident image, serious financial issues have started to come to light. Experts have long warned that constant overspending, risky investments, and a lack of steady income can catch up to anyone, even the richest. And in Mayweather's case, those warnings aren't just theoretical anymore. The signs of financial trouble are becoming more and more visible.
Well, I bought myself on my contract for $750,000, and in just 3 fights, I made $750 million.
So would you say that was maybe the biggest point in your career? Was
I think
because you had the talent, you had all of that.
I think the best thing about my career was I'm my own boss. That I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I rolled the dice, and to become great at whatever you want to do, you got to roll the dice and take a chance on yourself.
Jimmy Kimmel has never shied away from poking fun at Floyd Mayweather, especially when it comes to his flashy lifestyle and entourage. One of the most memorable jabs came in 2015, just before Mayweather's much-hyped fight against Manny Pacquiao. On an April episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, Pacquiao appeared as a guest, and Kimmel jokingly asked if he could join his entourage, offering to be his version of Justin Bieber, who famously walked Mayweather to the ring in past fights. Pacquiao agreed, and on fight night, Kimmel showed up in full character. Wearing a Run DMC-style outfit with a fedora, gold chains, and a Pac-Man shirt, featuring the character eating mini Mayweather heads, Kimmel stole the spotlight before a punch was even thrown. That wasn't the last time Kimmel got under Mayweather's skin. In a 2017 interview, he stunned viewers by asking the undefeated champ if he'd make love to Conor McGregor, a moment that left Mayweather visibly thrown off and quickly went viral. It was classic Kimmel, mixing humor with just enough shock to grab headlines. Despite the comedy, Mayweather's financial story is no joke. Over his career, he's raked in more than $1.1 billion, earning massive paydays, like $300 million for the McGregor fight and $250 million for Pacquiao. Outside the ring, he claims to bring in $300 million a month from investments, mainly in real estate. One bold move in 2006 saw him pay $750,000 to buy himself out of his top-ranked contract, a decision that unlocked $750 million in future fight earnings. His wealth also includes luxury homes, a fleet of high-end cars, and successful businesses like Mayweather Promotions and the Money Team. Still, behind the glitz, critics and analysts have raised alarms. They point to reckless spending, risky ventures, and growing reports of financial instability. While Mayweather presents an image of untouchable wealth, cracks are beginning to show, and people are starting to take notice.
If everybody claiming that I'm not that sharp and I'm not that smart, then why should I give you guys my business plan?
Right, why you want to know?
Why should I reveal my business plan? It's obvious if I've been a multi-millionaire and made over $1 billion by the time I was 40, I'm gonna think I made over, $1.2 billion with no endorsement deals, independent. So it's obvious I got some type of remedy or I know what I'm doing.
During a 2017 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Floyd Mayweather gave viewers a glimpse into the lavish lifestyle he's famous for. When Kimmel asked about his money habits, Mayweather didn't hesitate, confidently claiming, "Whatever you bet, if you don't win, I'll give it back to you." It was a bold statement, meant to show just how much faith he had in both his wealth and his decisions. Mayweather went on to share more about how he spends his money, including the time he had a Brinks truck deliver millions in cash straight to his home. His day-to-day expenses are just as over the top. He reportedly pays $1,000 per meal for his personal chef and spends the same on haircuts from his barber. One of his most eye-popping purchases? A $4.7 million Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita, a hyper-rare car with only 2 in existence, but not everyone is impressed. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith has been one of Mayweather's most vocal critics when it comes to his financial choices. Smith has repeatedly questioned whether this kind of spending is sustainable, especially in light of some questionable investments. One major red flag, a reported $42 million real estate deal in New York that, according to property records, never actually changed hands. That's led to growing skepticism about the accuracy of Mayweather's public claims and whether he's as financially savvy as he portrays. Smith argues that Mayweather's flashy spending and murky investments paint a risky picture. While there's no denying the boxer has earned a fortune, the way he manages, or mismanages, it could put his long-term stability at risk. For Smith, Mayweather's situation serves as a warning. Even massive earnings can disappear without careful planning, smart investments, and financial transparency.
Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street, anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Oscar de la Hoya, one of Floyd Mayweather's fiercest rivals, hasn't held back when it comes to criticizing Mayweather's recent exhibition fights. He's called out what he sees as clear hypocrisy. While Mayweather often mocks influencers and crossover fighters like Logan Paul, he's also made millions fighting those very same types of opponents. According to de la Hoya, you can't dismiss YouTubers as clout chasers and then turn around and headline events with them for a payday. In a particularly fiery interview, de la Hoya went as far as labeling Mayweather a scammer and a fraud, arguing that his involvement in these spectacle fights damages the credibility of boxing, especially since Mayweather continues to publicly criticize others for doing the same thing. The comments reflect a deeper, long-standing rivalry between the two legends, while also tapping into the larger conversation about how the sport is being commercialized. De la Hoya hasn't just taken issue with Mayweather's opponents, he's also questioned Mayweather's motives. He suggested that Floyd might be seeking attention or quick cash, pointing to his frequent media appearances and controversial remarks. In an Instagram video, de la Hoya even slammed Mayweather's chaotic exhibition against John Gotti III, calling it an embarrassment. He noted how the event spiraled out of control, complete with a referee change mid-fight, and ended with boos from the crowd. "Stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions," he urged. Mayweather, for his part, has defended his actions. He insists these fights are more than just entertainment, they're a smart way to keep earning and building generational wealth. He maintains that exhibition matches are a legitimate source of income and a way to stay active and relevant in the boxing world.
Just quickly, 10 seconds, what's going on with Floyd, Canelo, Instagram, what's up with all that stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know, he tried to steal
somewhat of Canelo's thunder. He couldn't help himself. He had to crawl under his rock, out of his rock, and make some noise. But look, he's retired. I mean, either he's hurting for attention or he's hurting for money. And we strongly feel that, look, Canelo's the man right now. He's the highest paid athlete in the world, and then we move on and we go forward and we continue with our business.
Recently, Floyd Mayweather was spotted confidently strolling through the streets of New York City, pointing out towering buildings and claiming them as part of his vast real estate empire. Dressed head to toe in designer gear and followed by a camera crew, the display seemed crafted to reinforce his image, not just as a boxing icon, but as a savvy businessman with serious property investments. The message was clear: Mayweather wanted to shut down the growing talk about his financial issues, but the story didn't hold up for long. Investigative reporters and real estate analysts began fact-checking Mayweather's claims, digging into public ownership records. What they found told a very different story. None of the buildings he pointed to were owned by him or linked to any of his known business entities. The findings cast serious doubt on Mayweather's public image and reignited questions about the true state of his finances. Adding to the scrutiny, a recent video showed Mayweather spending heavily on luxury mansion rentals, many of which he seemingly has no need for. Critics argue that this kind of spending isn't about comfort or necessity, but about projecting an image of wealth and success. While Mayweather often presents himself as a financial expert, his behavior suggests a focus on flash over financial strategy. Recently, Floyd Mayweather was spotted confidently strolling through the streets of New York City, pointing out towering buildings and claiming them as part of his vast real estate empire. Dressed head to toe in designer gear and followed by a camera crew, the display seemed crafted to reinforce his image, not just as a boxing icon, but as a savvy businessman with serious property investments. The message was clear: Mayweather wanted to shut down the growing talk about his financial issues.
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment. So if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use this place.